Hey, okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Oh yeah. Trying to I am trying to make myself eat. I have to take I'm losing my voice. Uh, been doing a lot of talking with a lot of cool people over the past few days. Um, yeah, I'm trying to force a piece of chicken down me and be a little more caring for myself. Um, first, is the first. Oh, I don't think I'm not going to be able to do this. My voice ain't working right. Um, I've been trying to get some sleep, and I ain't been able to sleep really good. So I got out of bed and was like, man, I need to go get a piece of chicken out of the oven, try to eat it. Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping. I'm going to attempt to ignore anybody that might stop by today. Like if I get a knock on the door, I don't want to even get up and go look and see who it is. That's pretty bad. Uh, but I know somebody might stop by. Could be my landlord. It could be David. I don't really want to talk to anybody in person today. I'm on a stream right now, but I don't necessarily want to answer my door today. That's not a good thing either. Isolation can be a bitch, though. You know what? Um, okay. But I'm here. I am breathing, and I am very great. I'm very grateful to be here. It's just I haven't made a phone call yet. I haven't called and saw about really going into detox yet. It's a big move, and it means I have to be gone for a few days. It means that somebody else has to help take care of some things for me while I'm gone. So I really have to set up some, good. I have to know that I'm gonna go through with it. Yeah, I'm trying to eat. I did get sick earlier today. Hopefully, I don't get sick again. But I think putting food on my stomach is going to help me. Like my body's appreciating it right now. My body's like, "Hey, thank you, man. Nourishment, like real nourishment, actual food." um, um, But yeah, man, we're all going through stuff. Ah. I haven't I ain't talked this much in forever, so my voice is like a horse. A lot of good conversation. Welcome, whoever you are. Appreciate you. We probably won't go real long on this, but you never know. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Mm, I'm having to take very small bites, but my body is accepting the food and it's saying, "Thank you, man. Put some food in your body." uh, yeah, man. Got a lot of good things that are going to be in the works, but first we got to get me in the right place. Like I don't know if that means because the truth is, if I go to detox again, it's not going to help me unless I come out and do some other stuff. Like I have to do some legwork in the real world. The real world. Joel. Hey, growl. Growl. If nobody knows, I'm the real Dennis Rodriguez. But the Dennis Rodriguez in the chat is the real Great Cloudy Day. So, oh man, like listening to my voice right now makes me sound like dark gift. I'm like, oh man, my voice is all like, but it's been cold. Like I said, I've been talking to people on the phone. I did several streams yesterday. I streamed earlier today. Uh, had a lot of good interaction, a lot of good people to talk to on the phone as well as in the chat or on a stream. Oh no, please no. Yeah, man, it's not. You know, some people are more comfortable with sharing, and some people aren't. Obviously, I'm have been very comfortable in sharing my life, and don't sound like Dark Grift. I know. I'm just saying my voice this morning has reminded me of that smoky, husky, like. Well, I don't know if it's husky, but you know what I'm saying. He's got like that. He definitely has that cigarette voice. You know what I'm saying? Uh, now I'm just on the phone right now. if if we continue this stream and it's necessary, I'll pull the laptop up and put my hotspot on, and we might share people's channels and all of that stuff. Right now, I'm just sitting on my bed trying to eat, and like I'm literally having to make myself do this right now. So, but let's not get all depressing. I want this to be a fun little thing. So Yeah, man, I'm excited because I am about to make another chat. I'm gonna try to get myself better again, and I'm gonna try to follow through with some other stuff once I do this. Uh, but like with the channel and stuff, there's been a lot of like I've been speculating. Like I talked to, I played some of his videos earlier. Like he has a really cool story that I would like to help him. It's probably just a short story, but it could be put into a visual format. You know, like a small comic book. And Tank Ferret was here earlier. He joined me, and he said he would greenlight dude's story as well. I was like, cool. But Dennis, yeah, this guy that I had like a 90-minute conversation on the phone with yesterday. He's got a little small channel, Anunnaki Child. Now it's not a comic book related thing, but he does funny little videos. He shares his life. He's a family man, and yeah, man, I hope he don't mind me talking about that. I had a real conversation with him yesterday. So him and I hope that I didn't scare him off because I shared my finger story the other day or yesterday. But I think he's gonna work on a name for another show that I want to do and co-host with him. And it won't he's got the idea that the show we're gonna try to produce as well would be like an Art Bell. I don't know if you did you ever hear Art Bell? Like the guy on the radio, and he would talk about like really interesting subjects. Like, yeah, sometimes he'd be talking about supernatural ghost stuff, sometimes alien stuff. So that's where that particular idea is going to go for his and I's communication yesterday. Uh, he also, writes music. I mean, he does some rapping and stuff. What I'm saying is, I think some of the lyrics he shares, some of the things he shares, is very deep, and he's good at what he does. So I like him, man. Uh, yeah. So now, in the same breath, I also have to keep up with the comics group. So we will be returning to comics group as soon as I get a little bit stuff worked out. You know what I mean? I still have a copy of a book that I need to give away, but it's like at this moment, that's probably not the most important thing. Me taking care of my damn health is going to be more important, and I think that's understandable. So, um, I would like to use what a little bit of audience I have from people to promote anybody else that I think is authentic, whether they're in the comics gate or whether they're a musician or just a good creative person. It doesn't have to be associated with comic books necessarily. That's why I'm saying. So mm, I'm trying to get this piece of chicken I'm chewing down. Oh, yeah, I better put this up, man. I think that's the last bite I'm going to be able to eat right this minute. Give me a second. Let me go put this plate up. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. So I have to make some important decisions today. Right. What about comic books? See how yeah, that's a good one. But so like I have to learn how to be able to juggle this. Hell, I've been streaming what for the last 5 days, like every day, some several times a day, and so I'm just excited. I would like to have like a schedule where, one day a week or maybe every 2 weeks we have a comics group meeting, but then also maybe once a week or every 2 weeks I have another show that would be on another day that would involve the guy I'm talking about wanting to co-create with me. Like do something entertaining and talk about some interesting topics. How am I feeling, big dog? I'm grateful to be alive. I might be going through some shit, but hey, who ain't? I talked about that earlier. I'm going to continue to say that. I'm not the only one in the world. The world doesn't revolve around me. Although sometimes my ego can think that, but that's not the truth. So I'm not the only one in the world with some issue, right? There's plenty of other people that have something going on today. Uh, but if I can be here in any way just to offer my support the best I can, that's what I want to do. So obviously that means I have to take care of myself also. Yeah, Will. It's cool to see Will. Very cool. Very cool. Uh, you know what? Since I'm on here, let's do the thing, I guess. And this doesn't mean anybody should feel like they have to. But if you're able to click it and it works, we'll see. Earlier, I had Bleed Blue is a longtime subscriber of my channel, and he was in the chat. He was really pushing me to. We had an interesting conversation. Consistency is going to be the key to building something bigger. So I just have to get in here and just keep doing it. And you're going to see my channel probably not doing a whole lot of videos anymore. I'm just going to maybe more concentrate on doing this. Like it might be one stream a day, it could be two, it could be three, but every time that I need to, maybe say something, share something, or just see if anybody else is out there uh, that needs to talk, I can be here, right? Please, no pecker spray. No, we're not going to spray anything. Yeah, man. Like you can hear me laughing, and that's a good thing, right? Like I'm happy to be able to laugh. Give me a second. We're gonna have to promote somebody here in a minute. I can feel this. We may lose some people, but we're gonna gain some people. Like the longer I keep staying here talking, eventually there will be more interaction, and that's the key, man. It's like and then we talked a lot about authenticity this morning. And shout out also in the chat this morning, we had Ice Queen. I think her name's actually Carrie. She's from Britain. And she was in our chat earlier today. And she asked, is it okay if I just sit here and lurk and not feel alone? And I thought that was a really cool, it was cool to see her come in and be part of the community for a minute in our chat. And she could not feel, like she's by herself. So shout out to her. Shout out to a lot of different people, man. Yeah, I'm not Eric July, by the way, either. No, ice, like icicle. She's a friend of Risey's. She does some video streaming herself as well, like, video game streaming. Well, I think she's probably considers herself a friend of Risey. We talked about Risey this morning too. Uh, Tank and I both talked about him. Uh, that's what brought some off this. Like we were talking about, just people being not bullshitting. Like at least with Rozzy, you know what you get from him, right? You get what I'm saying? Like same with. There's a lot of people that maybe I'm not necessarily friends with, but I watch them sometimes and I enjoy their banter and I enjoy sometimes their straightforwardness. Uh, I'm trying to learn to do the same thing. Is I'm trying to grow into whatever it is that I'm being showed and directed to come to. It's like I'm realizing I do have some people that are interested in things I say, but I also have a few more people on my channel than some other channels. And if I can help anybody's channel grow in any way, whether that's one subscriber, two subscribers, three subscribers, that's what I hope to be. That's how I want to be seen. I want to be seen as a creative, but also someone that is willing to give another person a leg up. So, I'm not making any money at this, but I, m- that's not really my purpose. Now, of course, if I ever was able to make something, it was discussed earlier today too, that, it will be beneficial. If I was able to turn something into something, bigger than myself and it generated something that could be, bring a little bit of something and you could put it back into the projects and things you're working on, that would be the key thing. Like when I played music in bands, every time, like like we would sell demos or make t-shirts, and the money, we would just take the money and just put it back in, like, and if we played a show and we made $100, if we made $200, now we would split a certain amount and then cover certain expenses, but then some of it would get thrown into the pot, to go towards studio recording or making more merchandise, to sell to people that might be interested in what we did. And that's a key component as well. So, uh, yeah, I don't think I shared that story with you, Dennis, but yeah, I'll share it in a minute. About the guy dude yesterday when I was talking to him. He's got a pretty interesting story about somebody finding an old dresser on the side of the road, and they take it home and they fix it up, and then they start having like supernatural experiences and poltergeist type stuff, and then they somehow figure out that the dresser belonged to like an SS trooper. And I was like, man, that's a pretty cool idea. You could do a lot with that. Like, it don't have to be a big, like, it'd be a short story, but I think it could be an interesting thing. It could definitely maybe be, it could be worked into something good. And I'll state this again. I feel like I do better when I have somebody to share ideas with and they're able to share back and we can bounce off of each other. That's for me, part of being creative for me is one of my favorite things, is to collaborate, to coordinate, have someone you might have the right chemistry with that you're able, like I said, to bounce ideas off of each other. It's just like if I was playing the music in the band still. Like if I was a member of a band again, I wouldn't want to, like, I can't just work with anybody. Like, but if you have the right coordination, you have the right, like I said, chemistry, then you're able to like maybe spit ideas at each other and come up with more shit. And that's how I like to work. So, right now, all I have is some ideas. I have some things rolling around in my head. Uh, you know, I'm really gonna have to start writing as well. I'm gonna have to start putting some ideas actual on paper again, trying to develop. Uh, And I hope that by the end of the year, I'm able to maybe create some music to also share with people. I really do hope that I'm able to do that as well. I'd like to be part of something. It don't have to be a heavy metal band. I could do just like I was talking about earlier today. Like if I have an electronic drum set, man, I'd love to play some beats and be able to like to be the beat, like the one that's actually physically playing something, whether it's to somebody that's doing hip hop or whatever it is they're doing. If I'm able to make a beat, not a beat by programming it, but actual playing it and being a real, someone that does know. Okay, hold on a minute, buddy. Hey, Will, man. Sorry, man. I you just now popped in, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, hey, man. Appreciate you showing up for a second. If you're welcome to be here. We got might not have a lot of people watching right now, but you know, unless you just keep, it don't grow, right?
Yeah, no worries. I only got like 20, 30 minutes maybe. And I was thinking about going live myself because I got my camera, brand new camera, which it kind of makes it look more daylight. You know what I mean? So I decided to
Yeah,
like kind of invest in a slightly better camera for my streams and stuff because I was and I was hearing what you were talking about getting into a schedule and putting out content consistently and trying to like grow yourself and help other people grow. And you know, that's kind of the attitude I have right now too, as far as um I want to make a video every week. I want to grow the channel because I only have like 40, 50 subscribers, right?
yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to turn my laptop on right now so I can drop a link for
oh
you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I would probably have to go into YouTube to rent you right now, and that sounds kind of
Oh no, I noticed it stacked you on top of me. So are you on your phone right now?
yeah. I'm on my phone, but I'm about to do the and I can change that up as well. You know what I mean? We can change the setup, we can change the layout, but
Yeah,
give
I
me
never tried to do it on my phone.
do what?
I never tried to do it on my phone.
Well,
Streaming, that is.
yeah. But what I like to do, like to really do it, the best way I can do it is I have my like right now I'm on my phone, but I'm about to turn my hotspot on so that I can turn my laptop on, and through the laptop, then I can share stuff if I need to. You know what I'm saying? I can share it. Like when you're just on your phone, you're a little bit more limited.
Where are
Uh,
you geographically? Are you in Appalachia,
I'm in Alabama.
Alabama?
Yeah. Now I'm from originally Tennessee.
There you go. Because I'm
Yeah, I'm
like
from
trying to
Tennessee.
place the accent.
Yeah, it's definitely Southern, isn't it?
Yeah, I grew up around Virginia and lived in South Carolina for a while. So my accent like kind of like sways depending on what I'm talking about. But anywho, like yeah, man, I'm kind of on this a similar path in a way. I mean, you know, as far as I mean, heck, you already got over 1,000 subscribers. I don't know how long you've been doing this. I've only just met you the other day.
Yeah.
Um
Um,
and I forget which stream I was on. I was on because I've been just sort of jumping on whoever would let me jump on to talk about my comic book.
Yeah, who
And
streamed on? Because when y'all ended, I went straight over and watched you. Oh,
yeah,
because
yeah.
you were waiting on Peter to show up, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yo, yeah,
And
Peter was on Ominous. Oh, Elliot
yeah,
Rodriguez.
shout out to Elliot. Hey, by the way, let's show off his. Let me show off. Let me grab these cards right here, man. Like I'm
You got
really
some
trying to.
cards?
I, yeah, like well, I have a. Let me show my camera real quick. So when I backed Elliot's project, he did have his own cards, and I bought two of these, and I gave one of these away. Omar Glitch ended up with the other copy, but then I also entered a giveaway at the end of the year from Elliot, and I got one of the Cyber Fraud ones. And these are
Oh yeah.
metal,
Those are
like
the
those.
metal cards from Based Art Department.
Yes, look at that. I mean, I don't know if you can see it that well,
Those
but
look really sweet online. It's good to see them in a physical space so I can see kind of the scale of them.
yeah, I'm trying
Because
to
are they
come in.
more square or they wouldn't line up in like a deck of cards, right?
I Probably so, man. They're in card sleeves. Look at it.
Right, right. But if how many inches? About what are the
uh,
dimensions?
I'm trying to figure it out. I don't have a. That is a little bit smaller. Look, it's in a sleeve. You can
Yeah.
see it's a little smaller. So,
I'm
uh,
definitely, because here's my thing is people put out all these cards, right? Why aren't we putting stats on the cards? Why don't we have a card game that could be played hypothetically, even if nobody plays it? You know what I mean?
right, that would be interesting. Like if on this, now of course, like this
What
was
if
just.
that was a special edition Cyber Frog that had like a special attack that was different than the one that you got if you backed Ethan's campaign, right? And that
Oh,
you could all play these things.
sorry that I interrupted you,
No,
man.
you're good.
That's a good. That's a great idea, actually. I never really played any of the card games. Like I really always dug like looking at all the Magic cards. I used to live behind like a comic book shop that would just dump thousands of Magic cards in the dumpster, and I thought I had hit a gold mine.
All
And
the
then I realized,
commons.
oh, they're throwing it away because they weren't worth anything. But like when I
Right.
found a dumpster full of like Magic the Gathering, I was like, even though I didn't play it, I was like, man, this is cool as hell. Like just looking through, um, the books or the cards and reading the things.
I
Because
got
I was,
into playing Yu-Gi-Oh and like Hero Clicks and stuff like that. So I was always in the comic shop ripping packs and like um doing those booster tournaments. And that's how they generate like those stockpiles, because these guys will get into these 40-man Magic the Gathering open booster tournaments. And all these guys are buying like 5 boosters, right? And they'll rip a booster, pick a card, pass the deck, rip a booster, pick a card, pass the deck. And nobody
right.
wants to keep the non-valuable cards, and you want to keep the most valuable cards, because those are the ones that you're going to get to keep at the end of the day, at the end of the tournament. So they end up with this stockpile of commons. So when I first got into the game, he just let me take what I wanted from the commons bin. It was like a huge like thing.
I was surprised to find how many comics get thrown away as well, and then a lot of times they'll rip the covers off. But
Well, the reality is that comics, they'll generally not be worth very much money long term.
oh
Um, if they're the ones, the big fish are the ones that are pre World War II, because people were turning in their comic books for the war effort and that sort of stuff. um but
hey, can you tell me the name of your channel real quick so I can? I'm
the
sorry.
Will Studios, all one
The
word.
Give me a second. Well, because I just followed you the other day, it's not. I want to try to find it real quick, just because, before you go, I want to be able to. Do you have the? Is it? Did I?
No, and that's another thing is I'm so deep in like just getting the artwork done that I fail at everything else. So I got to get all my social media lined up where it's like you go to one, you could easily link to the others, get some sort of link tree like the OnlyFans girls have, that'll take you to my different accounts,
Oh
and help you back my comic book, because I want to have the sign up page going this week. I've decided I'm going to go back. I have a new cover concept that I'm creating, and I'm going to remaster the first 6 pages, um, add
yeah.
more detail here and there, darken up shadows here and there, kind of like taking in the feedback, the honest criticisms that I've gotten, from people who have seen my work, uh, and then keep making pages.
I'm trying to find you, and I'm feeling like I'm doing something wrong. But did you say the Wheel Studio?
The Will Studios. Hold on a second. How do
Well,
I
uh, and it's 1,000 something subscribers. I see. Well, I see a studios wheel. I'm trying to help. Like I know you might. Not, I mean, we might not get you a subscriber today, but you heard me earlier. My intent is to help anybody else. Like, yeah, I've
Well,
been
I'm
doing
going
it.
to be around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be very active and easy to find in the coming months, because I'm going to be doing this uh sign up campaign. I'm going to be getting as many people signed up as possible, and then launching the project as soon as possible, you know, um, and just putting the foot on the gas pedal. You know what I mean? I want to color my cover as well and read it. You know,
Well, like me trying to sit here and figure it out right now and try to share it. Let's just enjoy the moment that you're here. Like
no,
we,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, just be, don't worry too much about that yet. Like
Denny
Dennis already knows me. Dennis already follows me
said
other
we can
places.
sell a butt cheek for $50 a pop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's messing with you.
Dude, Anna was able to do it for 100. But I gotta think, if I knew more than 5 people were gonna be throwing money at me like that, maybe.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then am I opening that door?
Well, yeah, I had a conversation with someone yesterday on the phone. I was talking about certain things. I was like, well, I ain't gonna lie, you know, for the right price, I might.
Because, dude, she made how much? She made like 5 grand that night just doing
Yeah, I
twirls
remember.
in a
Isn't that
thong.
something that just happened? Like, there was some talk about it the other night on a stream or something, weren't they?
Oh, do you not know what I'm talking about?
Are you not talking about something that just recently happened?
Yeah, no, it just recently happened like 3 days ago or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know about it. All I saw was a few other people talk about it, and just I haven't went down that rabbit hole yet. But you're making it
No,
you
so I got home from work because I'm a bartender, full disclosure. And
okay. Another
so I
dark,
get, huh?
really dark gift, are you?
Say again?
I said you're not really dark gift, are you?
No, 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 no.
No,
Uh,
and I have nothing against him. You know what I'm saying, but he's a bartender as well. Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, man.
no, I heard that. I heard that he was a bartender, and he sounded kind of cagey about it or whatever. He probably doesn't want people finding out where he works or whatever. I don't like where I work, so I'll just go ahead and not worry about that. Um,
Well, he talks about it quite often. He does
no,
share.
does he? I don't
Yeah,
catch all his streams. And I'll be honest, like I wasn't and maybe I should take another look. But I remember not being interested in his comic books. And for me, it's just a thing where it's like the better a comic book you create, the more clout you have with me. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
oh
Um,
yeah.
So
The one-
if you're, Dark Gift, he's very active in the space. He's always streaming. He's on streams and stuff. He's talking about, he's up to date on all the drama. I'm not, he's deep into like, he wants to hold people accountable for being shitheads or whatever. It seems like that's his vibe. I haven't really paid much attention to anything he said because the one time I went to his website and I'm like, what kind of comic books is he making? And I just wasn't impressed. And I'm like, all right, well, all right.
um.
This guy.
Well, yeah. I'm just meaning I know who he is. I've been in chats of his before. Not much. I more just see him on another channel, and he seems to do. I think he works better when he's on somebody else's channel. When he's on his own channel, like the few times I've tried to watch stuff, sometimes it's just been like, oh.
Thank you, Denis.
And I think it has to
And
do
I
with
am
the.
straight, very straight, probably the straightest man on the planet.
Uh oh. Don't tell every. Well, you just did.
I'm also the youngest man alive.
Okay. No, I'm actually excited that I was able to tell you the other day. I told you that anytime you do happen to see me, if you are available, you're welcome. Um, my channel, man, like it's not just a comic book channel or anything. Like a lot of my content has to do with me sharing a little bit of my spiritual life and just sometimes just sharing videos of my dogs or sometimes I get on here and I need to just vent. And
I saw that, and I saw, when I took a look at your channel, and I'm like, this is just a dude I could know. This could be a neighbor of mine.
Well, that's how I try to be. Is like we had a conversation earlier today. Me and Tank Ferret talked about authenticity.
Yeah.
That like he was talking about the bullshit radar. I was like, yeah, I know. Like when you go to a channel that and you see the person and you just sense like one of the examples I'll use, and I have no personal grievance or whatever if that's the right word, but Jeremy, the quartering,
Oh
like
yeah.
when you watch the quartering, you can really see he's just not really being himself. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just
He's just reading the what he's finding on what does he read? Bounding into comics. He'll just pull up an article and read it verbatim.
I'm just meaning it's kind of like a lot of people are able to do that. I think for me, to me, it is important for me to be me, and I'm
Yeah.
learning to be more me or more open about. Like if I have an opinion about something, like you don't have to agree with it, but I should have the right to maybe talk about it if I want to. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
absolutely.
whether we're talking about comic books or we're talking about music, like or we're talking about a movie or something, whatever it is, uh, that's I think important to me, and I'm starting to realize the little audience I do get. That's why they come here.
Yeah.
That I'm saying, like like you're just we're just gonna have like a real conversation, and it can go from any topic we want it to be. Now, of course, if you're planning a show and you're trying to schedule something, I think it is good to work ahead. Like that's why I had an hour and a half conversation yesterday with this other guy. He's not a comic books dude, but he makes music. He's into really interesting topics, and we want to develop a. You heard me earlier. We're trying to develop something, and I'm going to let him title whatever this show is going to be called. And he brought up, he was like, we could do a show like Art Bell. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, well, yeah. You remember Art Bell?
Not at all.
Okay, well, yeah, you're young. Art Bell was like a radio dude that late at night he would come on radio and just talk about all kinds of weird stuff like aliens,
Oh,
supernatural ghosts.
okay.
Like just like I remember my granny would play that show in the middle of the
Just
night.
weird stuff. Like
Yeah.
because I used to get, do you remember the Weekly World News?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was, as a kid, I loved those things. I would get one all the time at the grocery store, and it would just have stuff about, oh, alien, this alien was in the Kennedys or something,
Oh yeah,
crazy
yeah.
stuff. Uh, so
But
that was a lot of fun back when conspiracy theories and stuff weren't real, weren't coming true
um,
every week. But
tell us a little bit about your book. I'm kind of interested in hearing a little more real quick before you have to go or anything.
yeah, I guess I do kind of. I'm gonna go. I made an appointment to play video games with my child.
Okay.
So
Um,
I'm creating a book called Revenant Steel,
okay.
and it is about a demon who enthralls those slain with his weapons. Um, so the story opens after a person with one of these things kills 20 people in a settlement, um, and they start rising. And so it's the first battle in what's going to be a great war between uh, the undead and the living.
Oh man. You sold me from I mean, like as soon as you started talking about like the name, I like the name too, like Revenant Steel.
Thank you.
No, I do. Like we're talking about Steel, right?
Steel, yes.
Yeah, I'm
I put
saying
it
like
under my name in the thing.
okay.
But yeah, man, I'm trying to polish the pitch, and I'm gonna set up the sign up page. And I don't know anything about. I haven't even looked into how to set up a sign up page yet. I'm assuming it's going to be relatively easy. I guess I'm doing it through Indiegogo, or should I do Fund My Comic?
No, I
Maybe
definitely
both.
I think you should do Fund My Comic definitely. And you can choose to use Indiegogo. I highly really I know Fund My Comic has some glitches and stuff still, but Luke Stone is a really cool dude. Like I was able to reach out to him a few years ago and 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 share a concept I've had for like 20 something fucking years, man. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, I've got this whole universe in my head. And he said, well, you need to just start with something like just make a 20-page floppy, just write like a piece of the story in whatever part of the timeline you want to write it and just put that out there. And I was like, you know what? That's a good go at it, especially when you're building when you're trying to really
Yeah.
build a whole universe about
See,
something.
I've
Because
had so many ideas, and that's why my avatar for like, everywhere I'm at is sort of the blue and yellow helmet dude with the mustache, and that's me. I'm the idea man,
okay,
So like Revenant Steel is kind of like that, where I wrote this back when Game of Thrones ended in season 8, and I was so let down by how they just flopped on everything with that show. The long winter, the war that we were promised with the White Walkers only lasted half an episode, and it was dark and you couldn't see any of it, And the little girl killed the Night King. It was horrible.
Game of Thrones, I really never watched. I might have watched
Spoiler
maybe.
alert. Spoiler alert. They could have had the greatest show ever made, and they decided to just nosedive. It's
So
insane.
Dennis says use Mailchimp or a similar service for the sign up thingy.
Use MailChimp. I'll look into that because it
Yeah,
is just collecting emails, right?
yeah, I think
And getting a mailing list going so that I can send out, hey, we're launching, make sure that people see that we're launching and get updates on the project.
right. I need to think about doing the same thing because like when you're on YouTube, like I do have a Rumble, but there's only like I think 14 people over there, and I don't post on Rumble much.
Denis knows.
You know,
Denis, how would you like to have a well thought out war between a supernatural undead army and the living in sort of a Game of Thrones style medieval setting? I think everybody wants that. I think if when I pull this off, the whole world will heal and I'll get a call from HBO. That's what I think is going to happen.
well, you know, I think you're right. Like if you do it right and it's well put together, you just have to get it out there, and then once it's kind of like um, I've been writing on my like I do more like a lot of the writing I do is a lot of stream of consciousness stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like I just
yeah.
pen and I just put a pen on a piece of paper and and shit just starts coming to me. And it
Dude,
might
but
just be a short little 4-line thing or it might be
yeah.
this. So you know, I really I'm trying to I'm gonna have to get into practice on trying to actually, learn how to write stories. I have wrote stories in my life. I've
Mhm.
wrote several stories. I shared a story I wrote in 6th grade, man, about the sign. I hope you don't mind me sharing this real quick.
No, I don't mind.
I remember my teacher was really impressed. I wrote a story. I don't remember. This was in the '80s, but I wrote a story about a bunch of scientists, and they just discovered this like hidden underground thing. And you know how we live in a world where I believe civilization might have been more advanced at some point than we are now, or we think we are. So in that story, the scientists get down in this like facility down in the ground, and then there's like computers there, and it's like thousands and thousands of years old. And then all of a sudden, it was a really short story, but the thing was they get a message that comes through the computer, and the people from the past are like, if anybody finds this, be forewarned and don't make the same mistakes we did. And then
Mhm.
right this message, a nuclear war breaks out. And that's how
Mm.
it was like, it's just me in 6th grade, like coming up with just writing a story, a short story, because
Right.
um, it was one of the requirements of the class. It was a literature class or English class, and
Yeah.
the teacher Like I want people to write a short story, come up with a short story, and uh, she like I don't know, but that concept I think would be a fun like me even thinking about it now. I'm like, there's things I've done in the past that I've wrote that now as an older man, I think I could probably take the same ideas and then come back with the knowledge I've learned over the years
Mm-hmm.
from the first time I created an idea. I could probably develop it more now. Now,
Yeah, because I was working on a completely different idea. Because I only started working on Revenant Steel, and it was called something else. Like I was flip-flopping between titles. I'm glad Revenant Steel came to me, but back in August is when I started this like whole thing. And before that, I was working on a completely other project. I got like 30 plus pages, pretty tightly storyboarded for this other story. Um, and I was working on that, working really hard on that big, you know, concept, this story.
yeah, it's like
Um, and then but I was only able to write it when I could come up with a good hook, a good beginning, right? And that's where the whole, oh, I need to focus on creating just the 20-page floppy, right? Because it's really
segment of the
how quickly can I communicate the plot of the story and hook the audience? How quickly can I do that? And how quickly can I deliver on some action or something to tie it all together, right? And so you really just need to figure out where in your universe, where in your grand plan is the story going to start, and then how can you bring them to those places, to those scenes that you've come up with in your head and stuff. Because, like, Dark Steel, Revenant Steel was a completely different story 8 years ago. And then this past August, I had that sort of revelation of where and how the story can start.
yeah.
And that's when I started just leaning into it as hard as possible.
Yeah, man. I think like I know you don't have much time. By the way, what game are y'all gonna play? Are y'all just gonna play?
Minecraft.
Okay. But anyway, I don't play video games or anything. But I was just asking. My
Oh, yeah.
my story that I had this idea years ago. Like I said, hell, I was in my 20s, dude, and I'm 52 now. But I
Hmm.
just had an idea for a title, and I was like, what if we did a comic book and we just call it Hero and Dog? But
Yeah.
then I've shared this concept plenty of times already. But the thing is, it's set in the future, and Hero is more like kind of a savior figure. Think of Neo in the Matrix or any other archetype story you've read.
Hmm.
And when you get to Hero is like 5 years old, and they go to the neighbor who is about 7 or 8 miles down the road, and he picks out a baby puppy. He picks out a little boy dog. Now he don't know this at the time, but it turns out the dog is his great grandfather, his grandfather that was involved in inventing a technology that harvests soul energy. So
Mm.
I always just had this vision of like creating a scene of the litter being born, and then you have this guy that's his consciousness is stuck in a little puppy, and he comes out and he can't open his eyes. He's all slimy. He hears all these dogs, and he's like talking to himself, like, "What the hell's going on?" And so you would have a process of like after the first year, like this whole time, dog would have been trying to communicate like mentally. Also, it's kind of like a take on you remember that I don't know if you ever saw that old Don Johnson movie, which was uh, a boy and his dog, and it's completely different. But he has a dog that communicates with him, and will like
Yeah, I
go in.
never saw the show. I never saw the Don Johnson. You said it was a movie?
He was like, this is way before Miami Vice. It's like it was a good movie. Now I didn't steal the idea. That's just kind of what made me think about it. Hey James, what's up?
What's up,
James is a
man?
Yeah, James. He was on the show with me yesterday, and then like he's been on. He came on yesterday. We probably streamed for like 5 hours. like I'm trying to not limit myself. Like I used to get on here, and then within 30 minutes, if people weren't fucking interacting, I'd just get off of here because I'd be so nervous. And I'm like, no, like you just have to keep doing it. And if you have the time to do it, you just keep doing it. And if you have something to share, eventually somebody will show up and they'll say, hey, what's up? You know?
See, and that's where, because I was going to touch on this earlier, like, with my channel, I'm going to try to cast like a nice wide net. And so that's why I need to be on a schedule with a one weekly live stream, one weekly show, right? So I made an episode, a 15-minute video about the He-Man trailer that actually got, it's only 60 views, but I only have 40 subscribers. So I know at least 20 more people than subscribed to me, saw the video. So if I can keep doing that, and then I've decided every Tuesday at midnight, I'm going to be doing a live stream.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I remember you saying that the other night that that was your
yeah.
intention.
So I got to come up with a name for the live stream show, and that'll come to me between now and then. But I want to have a series of topics that I can just be talking about, so that even if nobody shows up, even if nobody pops in and wants to, hang out and talk about this stuff, I can just go on, because that's something I feel like I could do.
Well, I'm learning, like I'm just learning by watching other people, and I've mentioned this guy's name a few times now. He's not a comic books guy either, but he's got a 250 something thousand subscriber channel. He's been doing YouTube ever since it started. You know what I'm saying? But he's like a
Yeah.
cool dude, Matt from Off Topic Show, and he's really funny, man. Like he just does like commentary on the news. You know what I'm saying? And just
Mm-hmm.
makes like really satirical takes on things, and I like him. And what I like about him is that he does not like you can go in his chat as a small channel, and if he likes you, he will tell everybody on his in his chat. He's like, go fucking check this. And like you just don't get that a lot. Like there's certain people that once they take off, they just forget where they came from.
Yeah. And that's
Does it
where
make sense?
I'm going to be looking for channels like that, because there's the Comicsgate sphere, right, that I didn't even know existed until 2023.
Oh, okay. You're
A
still
lot
kind of
of people, huh?
you're a little bit newer. Like I've been into Common Skate a little bit longer than that. I don't remember exactly which year. I got into Common Skate like a year or two after it was probably
So
established.
like you probably got in like 2019, 2020 or so then, because
Yeah,
I feel like it started in like 2018 when or it was probably going on before that. So is told, and it was more of a sister movement to Gamergate, and then EVS got in, and the crowdfunding numbers started getting bigger, and that's when Comicsgate really became a thing. Is my interpretation of the series of events, but I didn't even realize I hadn't even thought about EVS since like 2012 when I stopped reading Green Lantern, and I remember the issue where I decided like maybe comic books aren't for me anymore, or at least that DC comics weren't for me anymore because of the reboots and stuff, and the new 52 was coming in, and I wasn't really that into it anymore. And in
yeah,
the Green Lantern series, there's the White Lanterns. There was this huge buildup, and then Swamp Thing comes back, and I remember Swamp Thing being like a movie when I was a kid. It probably meant a lot more to the older crowd having Swamp Thing come back to life. But for me, like it just didn't hit. And so I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm done reading
yeah,
comic books. And I was already reading a lot of manga anyway at the time, which, heavily pirated. It was essentially free to read online. So I was getting into like boxing mangas, and I was into One Piece at the time, and Naruto was out, Bleach was out. It was a really big time for manga. So I hadn't thought about EVS, so then I go on, and it turns out, oh, he's been doing all this. He went through a whole cancellation. He had all
Yeah,
this happen to him.
I
Um,
first I first got into him just watching his like before he was even doing a bunch of live streams all the time. Way before Trashcast, he would just actually do. Now he's getting back into that where you can
mhm.
find him doing a draw stream or maybe just like a 30-minute video and he's drawing or he's doing something. And I actually appreciate that he's coming more back to that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, his trash cast is what makes him a lot of the money, right? But
Mhm.
I'm excited. Like I get excited. Like I don't watch the entire streams, but like on Monday nights when you got the Kings on, I'm a big fan of the Vasilis Lolos, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
he's a great artist.
yeah, and I'm excited to get now. I only backed it digitally. Sorry,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but I backed that Saturn head, and I don't think it ain't been launched. I don't think it came out yet. But I'm just gonna wait until I get the email and I have it and I can download it and watch. Look.
I feel like
Uh,
that should have come out.
yeah, I don't think I've gotten an email. I mean, I definitely do check my shit, but I
Well,
could
hopefully
actually I could.
Lolos isn't just a drug addict hanging out in his.
Well, no, I'm saying I could DM him and ask him, and if I somehow I missed it, he'd probably just resend it. Uh,
That
if
happens a
he
lot. That happened all 3 times I backed anything digitally. I would have to contact the creator and be like, "Hey, I never got the email. Like, what's up with that?"
Yeah,
So
I
you may
personally
just need
don't
to
like
reach out to him.
comic books digitally, but now that I have a laptop and a bigger screen, I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then the fact that Vasilis is over in Greece, it was going to cost like the cost of the book wasn't that bad, but the chip was going to cost so
I
much. I was like,
wonder why he can't just have somebody in America. He can't just send the files to somebody in America who can ship it, can produce it here.
yeah, especially if most of it, like if a huge portion of the people who are going to be buying it are from here, that would be. It's kind of like that's how how Elliot's sister did all the shipping out for him because she lives here in the United States.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you
So
go.
like, he had his book printed, but everything got shipped here to the U.S. to his sister, and then she packaged everything up and sent it out.
Yeah.
And I think like I'm really interested in knowing you a little bit better because I enjoy being a part of a team. And I'm not saying you're part of a team with me right now or anything, but I'm interested. I work better when I'm able to bounce ideas off of somebody. We
No,
were talking about.
absolutely. And that's sort of like, because, and this is why I jumped on. You were talking about, how you could elevate or whatever. Because you were talking as far as like people who need to talk, jump on, whatever. But I see myself as an idea man. I feel like if people just talk to me about their ideas and were willing to sort of hear my advice a little bit, I could help them
See you did it.
along, you know, like
Yeah. Um.
they might have some roadblock. They might be like, "Oh man, my idea is like too big or whatever," and then I'll help them create a hook, or if they don't quite know how they want to like end it or what, I would like to, help them. Maybe that's stupid of me. Maybe there's a reason people don't do that already.
No, I get it because that's the same. I mean, you jumped on here because I'm coming from the same perspective. It's like the concept I shared with you about my story. In my head, like I actually have details written about locations. I have character names. You know what I'm saying? It's been a slow development of obviously,
Yeah.
but I envision it like, and I'm not trying to say that I'm a George Lucas, but I think of it as it's like, what if I create a universe? I might be part of the first or second thing that comes out, and then I just step back and let anybody else, as long as they adhere to the canon of the timeline, they could do stories themselves. That's what.
Here's my idea, right?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that I'm going to publish my book, but then I would love to do something like a heavy metal magazine type deal where the
Holy
people
shit.
who I help, the people who I help develop stories, can all be a part of this, and it'll be an add-on to the campaign slash its own campaign where everybody would get a cut of the proceeds, you know.
That's pretty cool. That reminds me of. Do you know Alterna Comics?
Yeah, they do King Cryptid.
Yeah, but they also have a. They have an anthology comic as well, and it'll have like 3 or 4 short stories. Presented by writers and artists. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like different ones? Like exactly what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like it's not
Oh,
in
there
a
you go.
magazine form, but it's like it's a comic book, and it'll have like 1 or 2 or 3, a few stories in it, and it'll be by like an unknown artist or writer, and I think that's really a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to give somebody else, like to me, if I can't give back, man, if like I realized, like I'll go on Omer Glitz's streams
Mm-hmm.
in chat, and he'll be like, "Oh, holy shit, Great Cloud, he's got 1,500 subscribers," and I'm like, "That's not really a big thing. What you could have a. I've been talking about this the past 2 days. I'm like, you could have 1 million subscribers, but if you don't have people actually commenting and actually
Mm-hmm.
showing up in your stream and saying something."
Yeah.
Ethan explained this within the last year that YouTube switched from it more reads the interaction now.
Yeah.
At one time, it paid attention to somebody watching and it paid attention to, but now apparently it's reading. Okay, because it's trying to figure out: do you have bots in your chat? Do you have bots in your comment? Do you have bots on subscribe to you? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I hear
It's a big.
you. And I've been thinking like maybe I should just use bots.
You shouldn't. Uh,
How much are bots?
don't do it. Don't do it.
Should I put the bots on my credit card?
Um, I'm sharing. Do you know the artist Reverend Ruin?
No.
Well, he's working on like he just found out about
Maybe.
Comics Gate a while back, and he's like an ex-liberal, and so now he's part of, like, he's in the Comics Gate community, but he's a really good artist, and he does the black and white. He's got some good contrast, man.
That's
But
cool.
he came on the panel with us about a month or two ago, and he shared an experience that he was on Instagram like a year or two ago, and was like, 'cause he's into digital marketing. So he was like, let's see how this bot thing works. And he spent money and gained like thousands of followers on Instagram. And he said within just a couple of days, nobody was seeing anything he was doing there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it instantly figured out and shut him down. It's like it's more about, like, if you're paying for bots, you're trying to make it look like you're bigger than you are.
Oh yeah. No, that's 1,000% what you're trying to do. And you're trying to game the algorithm a little bit to be like, hey, this dude
Yeah, you're
has
trying
a
to
big
impress
boost. He
somebody.
must be awesome.
You're trying to say, hey, look at my big dick. I've got
Right.
this many subscribers.
Whip it out.
Yeah, but if I have this many subscribers and nobody's talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
then it don't really matter.
Right. And that's especially true for live chats or live
Yeah,
streams, that is.
it's definitely
Uh,
true. And I'm glad to be able to share that little nugget with some people. I had a conversation yesterday with the guy that I'm talking about, trying to develop that kind of a weird, just like a show where we just talk about whatever, but it'll be like
mhm.
discussed from one week to the next, or one, it might be every 2 weeks or whatever. Um, but we'll get together a few days ahead of time and go, hey, let's talk about this that day. And we don't have to have a whole slew of stuff, but we at least need to have like two or three things we start off with and just let it go to.
That's kind of like what I was thinking for my live stream, because I'm like, if I could get a regular panel of people who would want to participate in that, then I would, okay, create a group, and then leading up to the show, I would post, these are the topics we're going to be talking about. And so then people can say, okay, that way people who don't want to talk about that stuff don't need to show up.
Yeah,
You
like if
know?
you know ahead of time.
And people who have something to say about that stuff are going to be incentivized to show up, and we can stay on topic and have like a lively discussion that moves along. We're avoiding dead air and meandering, topics and stuff. And I feel like that's better for audience engagement and retention and stuff. So
Regardless,
trying.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but regardless of your opinion about the church boys, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, Cynic and
Oh, I know who they
yeah,
are.
I don't know what your opinion is, and I don't care. Like, I'm not saying that I don't care about.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you what my opinion is if you're curious, like, cause I'm brand new. I don't know anybody, um, I, what have they made? Like I said, like, your clout with me is like 99%. What have you produced, and is it cool? Is it something that I would be interested
I,
in? So these guys, I know they're running Imprint, which it seems to be, what is it, like some sort of think tank for people who want to create things?
yeah,
Am I right or wrong on that?
there's multiple projects already being worked on. Art's already being designed. Stories are being.
I've seen a few good artists. Like One Gun seems like a good
Yeah.
artist, from what I've seen him
Well,
produce. So yeah, man, make the comic books. So they have an entertaining enough show. I know that they do
I like to.
antagonize Liam or whatever.
Well,
I
I
don't.
like their non-drama streams, like when they have somebody on and just promote, or like they do a anime stream, and
And that's, if I show up, it would be that. It would be on topic. It would be me promoting myself, and I'm pretty I love promoting myself, so you can count on there not being any dead air when it comes to time for, hey Will, what's your book about?
well, I'm saying when the
You know.
time comes, I know I'm not trying. I don't have clout, okay. I might be called Gray Cloud, but I don't have any clout. But when the time comes and you do launch something, I'll send that stuff. I'll send I'll send some stuff to Cynic, who runs the. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
no,
absolutely. And he's, if he's a cool dude, he's a cool dude.
he's
The
cool to me.
panel format that he runs is so clogged up with people. Like that's one, like, sorry, I was trying to plug in my light that got disconnected there.
Uh,
But anywho, whenever I log into like the CG church, there's always 10 people
yeah,
there,
I was gonna
and they're
say,
talking about interpersonal stuff that I don't know any of the lore about.
and
And
you're probably better off not knowing.
right. And I'm like, I don't care. People are talking about, oh, Katie fucks dogs and stuff. Like, I don't think so. Frog Tony posted something just recently where he's like, he sleuthed out Katie's like account information from her fanfic reading day or whatever, and he was trying to insinuate all this bad stuff about a story that she had liked. And I went ahead and like read a bit of the story. Like I read a bit of the beginning, and then I started skimming it, and I was looking for anything that would be like criminal or like pedophile stuff or any of the stuff he was alleging. And it seemed like a pretty normal story about an angel that fell in love with a demon, basically.
Exactly.
And it's got the underage title on it because this angel is like a coming of age angel. So she's probably like 16, 17. I mean, we've seen The Little Mermaid. What are you spurging out about?
Yeah, man. Well, I have a lot of fun when I do show up and pay attention a little while for it. These
Mm-hmm.
guys are highly supportive of me as well. That's the only reason and like I said, other people can have other opinions about it. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like I talked about earlier today, I went on Financial stream one time, and he was all like you hear face tattoos, it's like, but I
Mm-hmm.
like to, I like, that's the kind of, I'm 52, man, and I grew up, and that's how me and my friends all hung out and talked to each other. Whether you,
Right.
whether you were black, white, whether your sexuality was not mine or whatever, we could talk and we would use foul language towards each other, but we knew we were joking.
Well, it was the pre-Civil War days. We're currently in the Cold War of the Second Civil War. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I
Where it's a war of ideas and everyone's going to be, it's like if you're not picking a side, then you're going to be put on a side, you know.
Yeah. Let's not keep you much longer, man. Just stay on for.
Yeah, I got to go. Yeah, I ought to go. I got to go play Minecraft. But it was great talking to you, man.
No,
Thanks for
no.
having me on. I always like
I'm
to
trying to be
hear the sound of my
respectful,
voice.
and go, hey, man. I know you want to. Like I know you could stay on, but it's like, like it's important to me.
I would keep talking like that's, I would talk
But
forever, especially about my ideas and comic book industries and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna push myself off now. Have fun,
hey, have a
man.
good one,
Take
man.
care.
Hey, go play a game and have
Yep.
fun. Hey guys, Will was I really enjoyed having Will on here. Hopefully he will join us again sometime. I think he's got some good ideas, and go check his channel out. We'll try to wrap this up, maybe, or maybe we won't. It's still pretty early. I wasn't trying to run him off. I was just, I very much respect the fact that he's going to go play a video game with his kid, man, or his child. Um, and I think that's important. That's more important than him talking to me right now. I hope that means something to anybody that does have a child. Uh, ba- 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 Here's a story about a man named Gray Cloud. It used to be named Jason. Now, literally, I'm still that on my you know, paper, and I'm not afraid to share that with anybody. Like, if somebody wants to call me that nowadays, I'm very open to people calling me by the legal name again. Hey, the fact that Will came on here, I thought that I might have rubbed Will a little bit wrong the other day and been like, yeah, he might look at my channel, but I'm really glad that he showed up, and I hope that anybody else can feel that way. Like if you watch anything I'm doing, a stream, a video, or whatever, I hope you can be like, hey, man, that's the real dude. And like if we lived in the same area, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to gain clout. I'm not trying to gain anything other than a connection to real people. It's like just be real, be you. Um Tank Ferret said this earlier, is that a lot of people forget that we're on a platform called YouTube, and it's like if it's your channel, so obviously it's going to be a little bit about you, right? But I would like this channel to be not so much about me. So that's the evolution of where we're going. if I can do nothing else other than promote, that'll be fine too. But I'm hoping that I have a few years left and we're able to see something that I'm able to work with somebody else on, whether they're artist, writer, and we see it actually come into fruition. Now, once it gets there, I would like to have, like I said earlier, I want to create a universe where when I step out of it, there's free reign to come in and create other stories based on maybe what you are thinking would work, as long as it fits into the canon that we put out there first. So I think that makes sense. Uh, it just has to adhere to the timeline of where you're at. Godfo universe is a good example. They're doing that. Like people are able to, like Godfo is allowing people to create stories if they want to in their universe, and then they'll obviously have to approve it. But I think that's a really interesting concept as well. Now, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how much longer I'll stay on. Um, I appreciate anybody that is still listening, still watching. Uh, and you're just seeing a real person deal with trying to get through life, right? I really don't want to be a depressive, all boohoo guy all the time, and I'm trying to shift from that. I'm gonna run this out a little while longer. Let's just keep going for a minute. Earlier, I pulled up some videos and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do all that now. Um, yeah, man. Will, when if you don't know this, appreciate you showing up. I think Will is somebody we can work with. Like we can maybe. I would love to get more insight to his story, and if he would be willing to hear feedback, or like if he wanted to send me a page or two for me to read and see my opinion, I would gladly. Like I wouldn't share it or anything, but like if he was like, "Man, Great Cloud, what do you think about this?" I'm gonna give him an honest take and tell him, "Hey, man, that looks like crap," or "You need to change this," or "Hey, maybe you could do this with your story." And I would like the same from other people. I would enjoy having other people do the same for me. Like if I have an idea that we're trying to put into actual real existence, um, for other people to enjoy, I think it's necessary for that. I think it's I think we need that. We need more people to maybe help develop and tell their opinions. A lot of people just don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a great artist or anything. I would be more of the writer and the creator of the actual functioning timeline. And then, like I said, I would like to step back. I would just like to see that I could see something out there and then step back and let other people take care of it. I know that sounds kind of lazy, but I think that's not a bad idea. Um, yeah, man, this has been a really fun. I'm glad I got back on here. I'm gonna have to end this here soon and try to lay down. I don't think I'm gonna get any sleep. Probably gonna be another day where I'm really tired and just, I already talked about this earlier. I'm not gonna answer the door if somebody knocks. I don't care who it is. They can scream my name all they want. I'm just gonna lay in the bed and not answer the door. I guess I'll be rude today. Okay. Let's just run this to another. I'll be on here another 15, 20 minutes maybe, and then we'll leave. Um, and I shouldn't have to say this, but I apologize to anybody that has been following me for a while and might have tuned in lately and be like, "Whoa, man, you're way off the map." I'm not. I'm not trying to. I really don't want to be offensive, but sometimes the fact is, no matter what I do, I'm gonna offend somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I share devotionals, I share a lot of spiritual stuff, and I still get people go, "Oh, you're like this, you're that," and it's like, okay, I can't worry about all that anymore. So we're about to take Great Cloudy Day into a whole new era, um, and I think once we get these things going, it's probably going to help the channel grow. It's going to help me be able to build a bigger thing here, and I hope that somebody will be part of it. Uh, I'm sincerely saying, I hope somebody will be part of it. There's already a couple of people already told me that they would be totally help me out, and I'm not going to mention their names, but that means a lot as well. Um, the fact that anybody would be willing to help me develop something and maybe put it out there into the world. I mean, I just mentioned, like, I hope Luke don't care, but I had a real conversation with him on the phone, like maybe 2 years ago, and Luke Stone really gave me some really good information, and he told me what I should do, and that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna see if I am able to still be breathing for the rest of the year. Hopefully, you will see something get in the works and then launched, meaning something that I helped create and somebody else helped me create, and we put it out there. And we need more of that. There's people do need support. Um, a lot of us think we're an island floating around and we're just by ourselves, but you're not. You're not by yourself. I feel kind of like a lot of people are seeing a different side of me, and I've never been anything other than just me, man. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to be me. And if that means I'm not doing the greatest, but we're about to fix that as well. Okay, let's wrap this one up. If anybody out there does know a little bit more about streaming and would love to maybe help me, uh, I would really like someone that could help me produce this streaming stuff I'm doing. Like people that might on their end could have intros to pull up and outros and different things, because I want to be the host. I want to be the person that's talking. So I would need somebody in the background that's like pulling up shit for me as well. So, and I know I'm slurring, but hey, guys, have a good rest of the day. You might see me here in another little bit as well. God bless. Also, ditto.